let's get to our first matchup.
Well,
Thomas.
let's put Binovich. Oh no, we don't have to. He's next round. Okay.
Get ready for the next battle.
So this is number 10, Greg Olsen, versus number 23, Michael Vick. And this goes to show you the strength of this bracket, that both of these guys didn't get a bye, and they have to play their way in. As somebody in the chat called it the purgatory round. But, Kevin, I'll start with Greg Olsen. That dude wrecked the Saints. Constantly. And his peak in that playoff game, I remember Andrew was like, Ralph, you are panicked over Greg Olsen. The dude has a busted, broken foot. It's going to be fine in the playoff game. And I was like, Andrew, I don't care if he's got to use a walker. He's going to cook the Saints in this playoff game. And sure enough, he cooked the Saints in this playoff game. Like, he just tormented the Saints nonstop for years. And Chicago just basically gave him to the Panthers for nothing.
Yeah, I mean, he finished with 39 touchdowns with the Panthers over, 9 years?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, what was, Kevin, while we're chatting, what was his stats for that playoff game in 2017? Go find that.
It was like 108 yards and 1 touchdown, something like that.
I think
Saints.
Olsen's ranked 10th. Vick is ranked 23. I think those rankings feel about right. I know Vick was, took the league by storm. I think they just had a 30 for 30 on him, or there was some documentary I was watching the other day. Yeah. I mean, he was on the cover of Madden. I mean, he was like the face of the league for a good while there. But I don't remember him like really
cooking the Saints.
Yeah, like doing anything spectacular in any of the games against the Saints. But
really,
Greg Olsen on the other hand.
Well, I mean, we're looking at this great. I mean, he did some stuff against the Saints.
I know, but just nothing. Greg Olsen more stands out as a Saints killer than Michael Vick to me. And by the way, Jason Champagne says Michael Vick, he's got that dog in him.
Oh, stop.
Jason Champagne said that. I didn't say Champagne.
Greg Olsen in that playoff game, 8 catches, 107 yards, and a touchdown.
Wow. Saints killer. I mean, I know in the chat, people are probably going to go Vick maybe, but to me, Dave, I go Greg Olsen. Recency bias. I know it's 5 years ago.
No, I'm with you.
The playoff game. Greg Olsen. He and I want to say in 2013 he caught the winning touchdown that cost the Saints the division title. But I might be wrong. I might be remembering that wrong.
Well, okay, so I guess I'll try and, I don't know, maybe try and defend Vick on this one. So he has.
I mean, Kevin, you love dogs. Do you still hate Michael Vick? Do you feel like Michael Vick is? I'm being dead serious. Do you feel like Michael Vick has atoned for his sins? Do you believe Michael Vick has seen the error of his ways and
it's a lot easy. I'll tell you this. He went to prison.
Right.
Like he went to prison.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was out of the game for an extended period of time. Me personally, I probably in the moment, I know for a fact I just would have had a lifetime ban on him. When he came back and started playing, a lot of people just were talking to me and just said, look, you may not like how the length of the sentence, but he served the sentence. And so he's should he not get to come back and try and like do whatever? It's like, okay. And I kind of just not sort of let it go, but let the anger go out of me.
Thanks, Bud Rich.
And then plus it's like he ended up going to Philadelphia, so I didn't have to like see him with the Falcons.
Mm.
So
Given bits.
that made it a
Butteridge
little
gave
bit
us
easier. And
bits.
then plus,
Butteridge.
like he didn't stay in the league that much longer. He's been done, and he's not in the news anymore. So it's easy. It's a lot easier for me to kind of divest myself emotionally from that.
And I also think, Kevin, I think it's easier to do it just because, like Dave said, like there's not many memories of like Vick that we have of like Vick like ripping the Saints' heart out or just terrorizing them.
Well, he is 5-2 against the Saints as a starter.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
Are you sure about that?
Yes.
It doesn't feel like that.
The Saints beat the Falcons
On the Steve Gleason game.
Yeah. And only one other time they beat Vick. Wow.
Yeah, I'm looking at this like has a record against the Saints of 5-3, and one of those losses when he was
now it's
Philadelphia
5-3.
QB.
You said it was 5-2 earlier, so
Right, it is 5-2 because one of those losses was when he was the Falcons or the Eagles quarterback.
Yeah.
Oh.
That makes sense because I think Vick was undefeated against Brooks.
Because so in 2002, they won both games against the Saints. In 04, he has one victory.
A victory?
Yes, thank you. 2005, he got both wins, and in 2006, Saints won both of those.
Well,
I'm wondering if Matt Schaub or who was the other backup started the games in 2003 and then 2004.
He did. Schaub started the game in 04.
Okay, well, counterpoint against Olsen. Counterpoint. Sorry for interrupting you there, Ralph. Counterpoint for Olsen. He's gotten into the broadcasting game since he's retired, and he's pretty terrible, isn't he? Isn't he like terrible?
He is.
And also, did he get new hair? Is he wearing? Did he get like hair plugs? Was hair always like that? I don't remember.
Did he get the Drew Brees? Did he get the Drew Brees new hair for the TV?
I mean, that's a serious question because, like, when I see him on TV, he looks something's off about him and his hair, and he looks like a Ken doll. He looks like
he does. He looks very like.
And so if it's again, as a baldy, as a card carrying member of the Bald Club, I gotta say you just live with it, man. Put on a hat. Look, see what I'm doing here. I put a hat on. I just
honestly, I'm looking at the rest of the numbers on Vick against the Saints, and it's not enough. It's not enough to convince me that to go with Vick on this one.
So I'm gonna vote, but before I vote, I want to thank Butteridge again for the 100 bits. Thank you, Butteridge. You're the best.
I'm going.
So I vote Olsen.
I vote Olsen too.
I also vote Olsen.
Okay.
So it's clean sweep.
And Thomas, I forgot your name for a second there. If you have time and you want to put together a side-by-side of Greg Olsen playing versus Greg Olsen in the booth, I'd be curious to compare hair.
His hair.
Yeah,
Holy shit!
Curious to see compare.
And then put me in the book. And then put me in the book depository, shooting them both.
You guys forgot about a poll in the chat, by the way. in your vote,
I didn't forget about anything. Ralph forgot about it. Nobody gave me a rundown this week. I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah. Failure on the host's part.
But Thomas, if you can make that side by side happen, we can get some photographic evidence of new hair. There's an extra soprasada in it for you this week.
All right, Thomas, we got the clean sweep, so fire up the graphic.
I don't think that's a good idea, Dave. By the way, but okay.
Maybe a little Tartufo.
Yeah, the winner, Greg Olsen. Yeah, he's sneaky.
Do we not have a soundbite from like Olsen wins, like from
touchdown
Street Fighter? We have the other Street Fighter sound.
We don't
like or that music
that
like after
Street
the
Fighter,
match, like dun 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 dun.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching the Saints Happy Hour. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, then find us wherever you get your podcast, and finally go to saintshappyhour.com and become a patron of the best Saints podcast on earth.